Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Yaps with Jay. I am the host, Janice, and welcome to my little audio diary. This is just a little corner of the internet where I talk openly and honestly about the things that I'm going through and the things that I'm still unlearning, the things that I'm still learning. And, each week I just reflect on a couple of things, whether it's from the past or things that have been coming up throughout my weeks and throughout my days. And just some housekeeping things, please subscribe and like and comment, and also share it with anybody that it might resonate with if it doesn't resonate with you. And just stay throughout this episode with me. You never know what you're gonna learn. And follow my socials as well. I am on TikTok and on Instagram, and that's where I'll be posting all of the upcoming episodes, or where you can just interact with me and just send me some messages about what you have kind of reflected on through all of these episodes that we are going through, because we're going through it together. I feel like what I might be going through is maybe I can learn something from you guys, what you're going through, and vice versa. So that is the reason for this channel. But shall we get into it? I think so. And this week I'm talking about what happens next. What happens when you do see yourself clearly and you realize that there's no way but to move forward. Even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when the path looks uncertain, when the path looks like, when you don't know what it will look like. And I think that's the most important part. Like I said, it's a part where you actually grow and you're grounded in yourself, so that whenever that uncomfortableness comes again, whenever that scary part comes again, and whenever you do need to, reflect on things, you bounce back quicker because you've already grounded yourself in who you truly are. So it's not, obviously it's easy to lose yourself sometimes in things, but I think if you are very proactive in reflecting on things that you do need to change, you ground yourself each time in that reflection. You ground yourself in things, and you ground yourself in the truth. And so bouncing back is faster, and bouncing back is easier. And that's what I found in this kind of quiet time after the logging off and during the logging off. Because obviously right now I'm not off anymore because of this project, but because I had grounded myself so much in that quiet time, I can now get back onto social media without all of these comparisons, without feeling like I needed to be perfect, or feeling like I needed to perform or show a version of myself that wasn't really true, but that I felt like I needed to show people. And I think in saying that, I want to be, transparent and honest with you guys. I think this week has definitely been a bit more of a mental tug of war, because I was faced with the same fears this week as I've had before. And it's the fear of, or that quiet voice in my head that says, well, maybe this isn't going to work out, or maybe, people are not going to like it, or sometimes it's safer to stay in this little bubble of yours. And I don't want to live safely, or I don't want to live in that bubble. And, something that I've always said to myself, and I think more so to other people, and I don't practice what I preach, but I need to, is that you can't grow, or it's harder to grow when you're stuck in that comfortable position, or like that comfort zone. You can't really grow. You can't really grow in the stillness, or transform in that stillness, in that bubble. And I think the realization of that was a little terrifying, because I I really wanted to tell myself that I am growing, and parts of me was growing. Like, for instance, my teaching, I had grown in that aspect, and it's just, I think it's the only area where I was willing to kind of step into it and just do something, and just step into the fear. But with everything else, I still, that voice became louder and louder and louder. And then it became quiet and I got centered. And again, with this, now putting out this project, those fears came back this week after episode 2. And after episode 3, I was like, oh, what if? And what if is not a good place to be? What if it's not a good place to be? Because what if it does work out? Maybe it'll take longer. But what if it does work out? What if people do like it? What if it does help somebody? And so what I am learning now is what I write down is I write the negative what ifs and then I counter those what ifs. And, in the beginning I was like, oh, this is so stupid. But it isn't. It really isn't, at least for me, because when I see that, my brain is now trained to counter every negative what if with a positive what if. So, yeah, maybe a little something you can learn, maybe a little something you can apply to your life. So we're always told to trust the process. But what if the process doesn't show results right away? What if you're doing all this showing up, you're healing, you're rebuilding your life, you're doing all of these things that you need to do to fix your life, but you just don't see anything shifting. And that's when faith comes in. The faith that whatever seed you're planting is still going to grow. Whether the soil looks dry right now, whether you maybe don't have all the equipment to grow this seed yet. The faith that when you can't see the next step yet, you still take it. Because staying in that comfortable zone or staying in that bubble of yours is just not an option anymore. And so that's what I've been reminding myself this week, that the unknown doesn't necessarily mean danger. It just means that the opportunity hasn't revealed itself yet, or the opportunity just hasn't introduced itself yet. So there's this one line that I keep coming back to in each moment of doubt, and it's, you can't grow and learn if you're comfortable and content in not moving forward. And that's tea. I'm joking, but that is real. You cannot grow if you're just okay with not moving forward. Because what are you doing? Just doing nothing. I think of every version of myself that had to break in order to become. Every moment that felt like an ending, only to reveal itself as the beginning. And every time I wanted to give up so badly, but I didn't. And because I didn't give up, I grew. Because I said, you know what, it's hard, but I think my fear there was more so giving up. And that's what motivated me not to give up. I was like, I don't want to give up, but I feel like I need to. But I didn't, and I grew. So now when things do feel hard, I remind myself that hard doesn't mean wrong. Hard means real. Hard means I'm being stretched just a little. Hard means there's something happening beneath the surface. And that's worth walking through for me. Now, this week wasn't easy, but it was necessary. And because the only way you can move through the fear is to actually move. And the only way to make peace with the uncertainty is to take it by the hand and move with it. And the only way to learn and grow is if you refuse to quit and refuse to give up, even when a part of you wants to turn back. So if you're listening to this right now and you're in your own version of, I can't do this anymore, just have faith in knowing that you can, you are, and you will. It might just not look like it right now. And this might be the part where you need to learn something about yourself. But just know you will. It's going to change. Just not now. I don't know where this road leads me. I don't know what is waiting for me on the other side of this chapter. But I do know that I'm not going to give up. Not now, not ever, and definitely not when I've come so far. So I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to keep showing up. And I'm going to keep choosing growth over comfort, and clarity over fear, and movement over perfection. Thank you as always for just being here with me and listening to me yap. I will catch you on a new episode of Yaps with Jay. But until then, keep walking. Even if the road looks a little blurry, there is growth on the other side of this journey. And just have faith that whatever you're planting, whatever seed you're planting, it will grow. Bye-bye.